Welcome back to the bench. Today, we are starting the Phase 1 teardown of the M4K 10 mechanical strapping tool. Our objective is straightforward: strip the exterior components and split the chassis right down the middle so we can access the internals for maintenance. By the end of this session, your tool will look exactly like this, completely separated into its two primary halves, the cutting unit on the left and the tension unit on the right. Before we touch the tool, verify your bench setup. You will need a specific set of metric hex keys, 2, 2.5, 3, and 4 mm sizes. Grab a 6 mm wrench, a 10 mm socket, 2 tapping punches at 2.5 and 10 mm, a standard hammer, and a pair of tweezers. You will be extracting several micro washers and tiny set screws during this phase. If they roll off the bench, they are gone. Grab a magnetic parts tray right now to hold them. Establishing strict part organization from the very first screw is the only reliable way to prevent a reassembly failure later on. We have to map everything out. Start with the 4 mm hex key. Go to the side of the tensioning mechanism and back out screw 76. Removing that single screw frees up 2 pieces. Carefully lift off washer 82 and the larger adjustment plate 32 underneath it and place them in your parts tray. Next, clear the 2 blue handle knobs. These don't require any tools. Just unscrew them counterclockwise directly from the primary levers. Stripping these bulky exterior touch points early is necessary. It gives us the physical clearance required to reach the flush-mounted structural fasteners deeper inside the chassis. Now direct your attention to the underside of the unit. Use your 4 mm hex key again to extract screw 76 and pull out strap guide 51. Shift the tool to view its side profile. Take your 6 mm wrench and unscrew the cylindrical strap guide 52 located right here. Move down to the base plate. Take your 10 mm socket wrench and unbolt both the front and rear strap guides. Pay close attention as you pull those guides, labeled 67, away from the base. Washers 7 and 8 sit completely unattached behind them and will drop out unexpectedly. Catch them before they hit the floor. By stripping away these alignment guides, we eliminate the outer friction points. We've now cleared the physical path needed for the internal chassis to split later. We are now moving into the micro fasteners. Insert your 2 mm hex key into the top side port and extract screw 73. Right beneath that, locate the slightly larger internal screw, number 39. Switch to your 3 mm hex key and back it entirely out of the casing. Look closely at the scale of these components. Screw 73, in particular, is barely larger than a grain of rice. Handle these delicately and isolate them in your tray. Now lay the tool on its side to access the bottom plate. Use that same 3 mm hex key to remove both screws numbered 74. This releases bush 43 and the associated tension plates. These specific microfasteners serve as secondary anchors for the internal alignment. Extracting them now ensures there are no small obstructions when we address the primary frame pins. Next, we have to navigate a mechanical trick for the blade assembly. You need to manually push the sealer handle away from yourself, pressing it firmly against the backstop. This reveals a hidden access channel in the casing. Keep pressure on that handle. Once the channel is fully exposed, insert your 2.5 mm hex key into the gap and extract the hidden screw, number 46. If you fail to rotate the handle and attempt to force a tool into this opening, you will strip the hardware and jam the blade carrier. With screw 46 out, let the handle return to its resting state. Then take your tweezers and carefully slide out the cutter blade, part 20. Getting this fragile blade out of the chassis right now guarantees it won't be shattered by the heavy vibrations caused by the hammer strikes in our next step. We are ready to break the final connections. Locate screw 72. And remove it with a 2 mm hex key to release the main shaft. Now take your 10 mm tapping punch and your hammer. Apply firm strikes to knock out the heavy feed wheel support shaft, part 21. Switch to your 2.5 mm punch. Position it over the upper joint and drive out the smaller pin, number 40. Be ready to catch the internal hardware. The moment pin 40 drops clear, washers 38 and 42 will fall free. Secure them immediately. Removing these 2 structural pins severs the final mechanical bridge, allowing the tension and cutting mechanisms to physically decouple. Grip both sides of the chassis and gently slide the 2 halves apart. You've just successfully navigated the hidden screws and fragile washers without damaging the tool casing. Next is Phase 2, dismantling the tension unit's central feed wheel shaft, part 25, and its bearing assembly. Compare this to the cutting unit schematic, featuring a denser internal cluster of pressing dies and heavy springs, parts 19 and 34. Before moving on, completely bag, label, and safely store all the exterior components we cleared today. Once your bench is prepped, click the link on screen to begin Phase 2.